everyone, today's video is about when they are overprotective and you fight with them. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's get going. Your morning started like any other, but today you had a plan. You loved Baku and Kirishima with all your heart, but their overprotective nature had begun to suffocate you. They rarely let you out of their sight, and the few times that you did manage to slip away, it was always with their incessant calls and messages, checking up on you every 5 minutes. Today, however, you decided that enough was enough. You wanted to go out by yourself, enjoy some time alone, and prove to them that you can handle yourself. As you were getting ready, Baku and Kirishima were in the living room, discussing their patrol schedules. Bakugo, ever the fiery one, was pacing back and forth, while Kirishima sat on the couch, looking at his phone. You walked into the room, your back slung over your shoulder. "I'm heading out for a bit," you announced casually, hoping they wouldn't make a fuss. Bakugo stopped pacing and turned to you, a frown immediately forming on his face. "Where do you think you're going?" he demanded. "Just out," you replied, trying to keep your tone light. "I need some time alone." Kirishima looked up from his phone, concern etched on his face. "Babe, you know it's not safe for you to go out alone. What if something happens?" You sighed, already feeling the frustration building up. "I'm not a child, Kiri. I can take care of myself." Baku crossed his arms over his chest, his eyes narrowing. "It's not about you being able to take care of yourself. It's about the fact that there are dangerous people out there who wouldn't hesitate to hurt you to get to us." "I understand that," you said, your voice rising slightly. "But I can't live my life in a bubble. I need some freedom." Kirishima stood up and walked over to you, placing a hand on your shoulder. "We just want to keep you safe. Is that so bad?" You shook off his hand, stepping back. "Yes, it is. I feel like a prisoner in my own home. I love you both, but I need some space." Bakugo's face softened for a moment, but his resolve quickly returned. "You're not going out alone, and that's final." "Why can't you trust me?" you shouted, feeling tears prick at the corners of your eyes. "Why can't you trust that I can take care of myself?" Kirishima's eyes filled with worry. "It's not about trust. It's about loving you so much that the thought of anything happening to you terrifies us." "I can't do this anymore," you said, your voice breaking. "I need to go out, and I need to do it alone." Bakugo takes a step towards you, his expression conflicted. "If you really feel that way, then fine. But we're going to follow you from a distance." You shook your head. "No. Either I go alone, or I don't go at all." Kirishima looked at Bakugo, silently pleading with him. After a moment, Bakugo let out a frustrated sigh. "Fine. But if you're not back in 2 hours, we're coming to find you." "Thank you," you whispered, relieved. You quickly left the apartment before they could change their minds. As you walked down the streets, you felt a mix of exhilaration and anxiety. You loved them both dearly, but their overprotectiveness was something that you needed to address. You know that they meant well, but you couldn't live your life constantly under their watchful eyes. Even they sometimes needed to be alone. Why can't you as well? You wandered through the city, enjoying the freedom and the fresh air. It felt good to be out on your own, to prove to yourself and to them that you could handle it. 2 hours later, you returned home, feeling more at peace. As you walked through the door, you were immediately enveloped in a tight hug by Kirishima. His eyes filled with relief. "You made it back safe," he said softly. "I told you I would," you replied, hugging him back. Bakugo stood a few steps away, his expression a mix of anger and relief. "Don't ever do that again," he growled. "I will," you said, looking him in the eye. "So you need to trust me more." I can't live my life in fear. You can't live your life in fear either. Always worrying about me like that. You have to change. And everyone needs to be on their own sometimes. So expect this more, actually. Bakugo's gaze softened, and he stepped forward to join the hug. We'll try. But you have to understand that we love you too much to lose you. I know. And I love you too. But we need to find a balance. We will. Kirishima promised. Together, Moyan. As you stood there, wrapped in their arms, you knew this was a step in the right direction. It wouldn't be easy, but with love and communication, you would find a way to make it work, no matter what happens. The following days were a delicate dance. Baku and Kirishima made an effort to give you more space, but their worry was palpable. You appreciated their attempts, even if sometimes slipped into old habits. It was a learning process for all of you. One morning, you decided to test the waters further. Hey, I'm going out to meet up with some friends for lunch. I'll be back by 3. Bakugo, who was reading the news on his phone, looked up. Which friends? You rolled your eyes playfully. The usual group? Momo, Jiro, and Mina? Kirishima was in the kitchen making breakfast, leaned against the counter. Do you want one of us to drop you off? Nope, you said, giving them both a reassuring smile. I'll be fine, promise. Bakugo's eyes narrowed slightly, but he nodded. All right, but keep your phone on. You chuckled. I will, don't worry. The lunch with your friends was exactly what you needed. You laughed, caught up on some gossip, and enjoyed some much-needed girl time. It felt liberating to be out without the constant supervision of your boyfriends, even though you knew that they meant well. As you headed back home, you found yourself reflecting on the conversation that you had with them. They were making an effort, and so were you. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. When you walked through the door, Kirishima was the first to greet you. Hey, how was lunch? It was great, you said, feeling genuinely happy. We had a blast. Baku appeared from the hallway, his expression softer than usual. Glad you had fun. Thanks for trusting me, you said, looking at both of them. It means a lot. Kirishima pulled you into a hug. We're trying. We know it's not easy for you either. I appreciate it, you said, resting your head on his shoulder. And as the days turned into weeks, the three of you continued to navigate this new dynamic. There were moments of tension, but also moments of growth and understanding. You learned to communicate your needs more clearly, and they learned to listen and trust you. You felt a sense of peace settle over you, and you know that no matter what the future held, you had each other, and that was all you needed. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye!